Slaptail Squad, assemble.
If you are listening to this, you are a member of the great Slaptail Nation, my nation. And who am I? I'm the Beaveman, master of the universe, creator of all things great and small, and Lord High Commander of the great Slaptail Nation Army. And with me today is no one. It's just me here in the Beaver Den. And the reason why I'm doing this little intro is to give you a brief synopsis of this bonus episode. So on this bonus episode, the Slaptail Squad went on the road to a venue for a comedy show. We got asked to be there, and so we went, had a good time, did a couple of, we don't really do interviews. You guys know that. Did a couple of little chats with some fun comedians, and you're going to hear from them. And of course, Ronz did his thing. These were not cringy. They were not supposed to be cringy questions. But of course, anytime you involve the Ronz, there's going to be a cringe factor. So it was the Swan, the Ronz, me, having some fun at a comedy show, interacting with some very, very funny comedians. So you're going to hear those, and with permission from some of the comedians, we're going to have some little brief joke clips in there as well. So I hope this is going to be a fun bonus episode for everyone. The thing that I didn't like was not having my mix cast with me, and I don't know if you guys know this, but I do some mixing, and the voice that you hear, it's not that the voice of the Beaveman that you hear isn't it how I sound, but I do put a little bit of radio mixing with it, if you will. So I sound, it's a more enriched voice. And of course I don't have that when I'm on portable, but I think that's just a personal preference of mine. I like that voice, that deep booming voice or whatever. But so you get to hear the Beaveman in the raw, just like you did before when we had our Pride episode. So I hope you enjoy this and look forward to our season starting back up, regular episodes, probably the end of September. You've got another bonus episode that should be coming with what do you call it? Jeez, what's it called? Where you take two shows. It's a team up. Yeah, so you should have our team up pretty soon. We should be recording that in the next 1 to 2 weeks with JD Hutchins of the Monsters Lair. Look forward to that. That should be fun. But now just sit back, relax, and enjoy these comedian interviews and interactions as we take the show on the road. Yeah, I don't need you to tell me what we should be recording, what's good stuff. But thank you very much. All right.
All right.
Well, it's the Slaptail Squad. Obviously, we're not live because it's a podcast, but we are here at Bright House Studios. And with me, I should do my regular intro. For those of you that don't know, I'm the Beaveman, and we are on location at Bright House Studios. Beaveman, master of the universe, creator of all things great and small, Lord High Commander of the great Slaptail Nation Army. And with me here at Bright House Studios is my number 2, the Ronz. What's going on here? You skater dude now?
No. That's a bit personal for me. But
Jesus, I'm glad everything is personal for you. Yeah. Can't you just tell us what you're freaking doing?
Well, fuck. You want me to tell you? You just want to keep talking over me?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. No, I joined a Run Fear group. Oh, hello. More people. Hey, hi, Matt. Hey, great. So, yeah, I joined a Run Fair group, and so now I'm a Thorial Pirate is my key thing, so I'm starting to wear jewelry again. But
I don't think the sunglasses match your punk theme you have going on, or whatever the fuck you're going with.
Well, who asked you for
it's
your
like a
opinion?
Perverted skater dad.
Yeah, hey, you got to maintain the youth somehow, right? No, I figure pretty much.
Okay, well, that's enough hearing about your life.
Enough.
Also with us today is the Swan. Say hello, Swan.
Hello, Swan.
Great stuff.
Yeah, that's what I do.
So with us today is, would you say Grand Rapids, primarily comedian?
I'd go Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids. We've seen him lots of times, Swan.
We've seen him several times.
We like his stuff and his comedy.
Yes, I bring the stuff. I was born with it, and the jokes, I write with them, here and there.
Oh.
You definitely bring the stuff by the pants you wear.
Very tight, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually that's the kind of line you would hear from me making it cringy.
I figured out, just go in for it.
Wait till you see it.
Wait till you see it.
I wait till you see him, is what I meant to say. What I meant to say.
So the sunglasses aren't doing it? I mean, I should...
No.
No.
okay.
I mean,
You're-
you can try to be cool, but can you see?
You're like going through your third
look at
midlife
it.
crisis right now.
Yeah. Actually, I am. I thought, well, I need one of those midlife crisis cars or something like that. I haven't figured out what kind that is
Yeah,
yet.
maybe talking to the microphone would be great.
Yeah,
Ronz.
So because the Swan is taking over for me, I thought I'd take over for the Swan and move away
All right,
from
moving on to some interview questions here with Darius.
Yes, ready.
Here we go. Random questions. Random
Yeah,
questions. Darius, if this was a Saw situation, which one of your fellow comedians would you sacrifice first to save your life?
Ooh, I would sacrifice Chris. He's got a couple years left.
Wow.
I think he's on his last legs. I seen him walk on stage, and there's a limp. It's noticeable.
So you would definitely take him out first.
100%.
Now, because we never heard of this, I've never heard of this venue here before. I think this is their first show.
Yeah.
That's what the first thing I was thinking was I need to make sure that there's plenty of other people that come here so that I'm not the one who is stuck in a room chained to a wall. So thank you for coming and making sure that, I mean, we're not out of here yet.
No, this house, when you walk into it, does look like a plantation house.
Yeah, that's a little scary. It was a little scary for me. I thought that maybe they were going to ask me to trim the hedges in the back, but thankfully they did not.
Well, we could make alliances now. So
Good plan.
Chris, we can all right now vote. So we got Chris on the chopping
I think we
block
should definitely
first.
take Ronz out also.
Well, Ron's
Oh,
too.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. I would like to go out to Burger King if we're going to do that.
I don't
okay.
know what that
Honestly, I
means.
didn't know he was here. I thought that was his ghost speaking
It
already.
was. It was.
Oh my gosh. All right. Personal question though. Next one for you. What made you want to do stand up?
I used to work a very stressful job where I would see about 40 to 60 patients a day, and it made me really, I would say, almost sad to a point to where I was only getting, my happiness from comedy. And at that moment, I was like, wow, I would like to at least pursue this a lot more and create happiness for others. And, I went on a stage, first open mic, Mulligan's Pub, Make It Spicy, back then it was called, and I had a good set, cringy set. When you go back and look at your first set ever, horrible. Just talked about my dick for way too long. It's not that impressive.
Fantastic.
Can we get do you happen to remember any of that? Can we get a small taste of that?
Yeah, I had one joke where I would talk about I used to have a move where in How I Met Your Mother was called the Naked Lady, but instead my move was I would just take off all my clothes and whip out the penis. And that moment I had it worked for 2 to 3 times, but you only remember a time where it really didn't work. In that moment, I whipped it out. She turned around. She had looked at me with a face of disgust at that moment. So then I tried to put my dick back in my pants, but that's like putting a mic back in a circle incorrectly, and I would take the mic and make a circle with my hand and jam it incorrectly. It's not going back in. And then, it was very uncomfortable when I look back at it.
And now you have flashbacks of reliving that, right?
Oh, me
We brought it right back to
too.
you.
So you would say that it was your first cringy moment on stage?
Yeah.
Interesting. So what's your favorite snack food when you write a joke?
What the absolute fuck is this what is this question?
We told you not to improv.
I'm not. This is the question I thought about. Because when people write, they want to be in a relaxed moment. And so
tell us about it. What do people do when they write? Please tell us.
So as a former writer, I would think, it's like...
He wrote blogs.
No, yeah, I wrote blogs. I did a little bit of everything. But I would sit down and it's like, you'd zen into the moment. What is your zen moment? What do you have with you as you write? Do you have a clear room, a clear desk, or do you have your favorite snack food with you or whatever?
No, I actually go to the bar by myself instead of the brar. It needs to be very loud.
brar?
Yeah, brar. Yes.
Very loud.
And then I just go into the zone, and that's how I can do it. I studied. I do everything at the bar. I can't do anything at home. I'll just go straight to sleep at that moment.
Oh, wow.
I kind of see that to a point, the way Baby Swan puts on her earbuds with stuff going. She's got the TV playing and a whole bunch of stuff. I'm like, how can you study? She needs that background noise to do it. So I get that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it part of it though? You get inspiration from looking at the culture of the world, basically, in that small snapshot of society.
Sometimes, but it's more of when I have a standard premise, I have to sit there and just hear all these different instances and things going around me, and then that just helps me step it and punch it up a lot further. And then rehearsing jokes, that just goes in the shower. That's just how I do it. And unfortunately, I might get some inspiration in the shower. Then you have to dry your hands off, write it down. It gets messy. Gets messy.
Now, what do you use? Do you actually simulate using a microphone in the shower? Or, are you just using your penis and it's like...
Well, once again, I kind of just go back and I think about... I grab the shower head, actually.
Oh, you grab the shower head?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I reward myself after a good joke.
You put the shower head on Pulsate or something?
Oh, what are you talking?
He's now getting
we're not
a visual.
that rich. You just put your hand over it and just wave it fast.
Fantastic.
So do you think it's hard to maintain personal relationships as a comedian?
Extremely, because people don't necessarily understand what it means where you have to go, hey, I got to go to the bar, like, all the time. And I don't think it'll be that entertaining for you to come with me as well to, like, go to a comedy show or anything like that. And then you want to network as well. And I learned previously it can get difficult when you're talking about instances that they were around for, your partner or significant other. And they might find that very uncomfortable or a breach of privacy, so they will pull back in their that relationship.
That leads me into this question: who do you want at your comedy show? When you first start out, you want all your friends there, but then as your comedy evolves, you start to talk about certain people, as you just mentioned. Do you want them at your comedy show? So who would you like at your comedy show, and who wouldn't you like?
I want a bunch of strangers typically, because that's a true test. Your friends are gonna laugh at you and for you. I want a true test of if my joke's going to work. And I have to shop it around. And basically, I don't tell people to go to shows unless they're like a really good showcase, like i.e. Dr. Grins or Wealthy Theater, That's when you want the crowd no matter what, because they're just going to blend in with the masses.
I mean, if you decided you were going to do stand-up, Ronz, you should definitely have your friends go, because they will definitely laugh at you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really. So... when you're, what's the furthest you've ever traveled for a show?
Detroit, really. Detroit is about 2.5 to 3 hours, and that's usually anytime there's a showcase. I don't like going over there to do mics at all. So there's a lot of great mics. They have a great scene over there, but really I'm only going to go there if it's a showcase or, standard attention. Otherwise, I'll stick to just doing mics regularly within somewhere that's an hour to an hour and a half.
So break down the terminology for us that don't know. You say the mics? What's that mean?
Oh, mics are open mics, and anytime I talk about shows, they are either showcases where there are 6 to 8 people and all of them have equal time, or a show where there's a opener, special guest, possibly featured act, and sometimes a middle feature, and then the headliner. And based on those terms from that, where I started from the beginning to the end, that signifies how much time they will be doing on stage, and also rate of pay.
I'm sorry, rate of pay. Wow. So what was your first paid gig like?
My first paid gig was actually, I believe, through Lowdown Comedy. Once again, there's Ricardo. He's a very great comedian from Muskegon. He has a great special on YouTube. And Tim Locke, who runs Fresh Ghosts, who's once again has put on many shows and taken over the Midwest, not just West Michigan anymore. And, he's put on great shows, and I was just opening for those two people that were very accomplished. So there was a lot more pressure behind me, but I was very confident in my ability to put on 7 to 10 minutes when they're doing 15 to 20.
Nice.
And the other one's doing 45 minutes to an hour.
Right.
So
Do you have any specific, pre-comedy ritual that you do?
I go away from people in the bathroom or the back, and I just stretch to get my heart rate going, and then do a little bit of jumping jacks. And I just don't like to talk at all usually.
This is going to be super helpful.
This is really super helpful.
Let's do a really in-depth. Let's pick apart your life before you do a set.
Oh, it's easy now. I'm much better at it.
Okay, good.
So, I'll ask this from all the other people that we'll interview. What was it like being your first step up on stage?
My first time on stage?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, I went out there, and I just felt like it was going to be easy, as I've always watched. And the one thing that was very weird takeaway, 7 minutes is much longer than 7 minutes sound. And I felt like when I got off of it, I was like, I don't think I'll be able to come up with a better 7 minutes, which is hilarious.
It's the best it's ever going to get.
Yeah.
Peeked out right here.
I was amazing. I'm done. I now retire. That's pretty crazy, actually. Yeah. Wow. So that's good, though, if you felt that good afterwards. So,
oh, no.
And so as soon as you were done with that first show, though, you're like, I got to book another one really quick.
No, I think I was going to retire on top, actually. Yeah.
One show and done. Go all the way to the top.
I was doing mics at that point like once a month. And then I really hunkered down one time after a roast battle of 16 comics that I really respect, and I got second place. So after that, I was like, wow, I need to really hunker down and get into this. And grinding to the point where I like to do 10 to 15 mics a month on top of just normal life. I mean, I've saw it and my comedy improve dramatically and drastically.
So this is one that every comedian has to deal with, right? And I say that in general because I want to try
I know
and
the
open
answer to this.
No.
I know this question.
All right, so you know
already.
this question?
Yeah.
How do you deal with your first heckler?
Oh, Jesus, you asked the
I
same
knew he
question
was going to ask
to
that.
every
Like, I literally
comedian we
knew
encounter.
He was going to ask that question.
Well, no, because it's like, you got to get out there, and of course someone doesn't think you're funny, and they heckle you, and it's like, there you go.
Well, necessarily, I never ran into the problem when they were like, "Oh, you're not funny."
So, Darius, when people think that you're not funny,
Yes.
how do you deal?
Oh man.
No, I think he's hilarious, but the thing is that
Well, you just basically just
questions.
asked. Yeah. I was gonna say,
no,
just asked him a
it's like
fucked up
because
question.
I want to get out there, and it's like, okay, it takes a lot of courage to get up on stage.
It's all about you, isn't it, Ronz? It's
Yeah.
all about you.
It's always about me. You should know that by now. Beaveman?
All right, I
Anyway.
got one more question for you, since I'm not going to make you answer that question because it's
assy question.
an assy question.
I
All
don't think it's
right,
an
this
assy
is-
question.
this was
Could be a gassy
this was
question.
submitted by our good buddy Tremonde, who's not here today. He's not dead. He's just not here.
Recipes.
All right, if you were in the hot seat for a roast, who would you be honored to have talk shit about you?
Oh man. Anyone like on the planet?
Yeah.
Who would you want on your roast?
I think I would just if we could resurrect or get a Ouija board, I'd love Bernie Mac to do it.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Nice.
Bernie Mac can truly dissect a human and bring you down. All right. I would
tears
love to have
start
the
crying.
honor of being roasted by Bernie Mac.
Awesome. Well, Darius, thank you so much for taking time to do this quote interview with us and for putting up with Ronz. We really appreciate that. I know that Swan and I are cool, and that was probably an honor, but, Ronz was continuously looking at your jawline, and I was getting uncomfortable,
He's
so I
waiting for
figured
him
we
to
should.
stand up.
Yeah, he is waiting for him to stand up. Maybe turn around also.
Yeah.
And that's all right. That's okay, Ronz.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions for us?
No, it's been
Really?
an honor and a pleasure working with the two of you.
Oh, wow. Well, once again, I'll just fade in the fucking background.
That's it. Nope, we're pausing. So that was a wonderful interview with Darius Walker. Very, very funny comedian. So if you have a chance, if you're in that, and of course we know that this podcast gets listened to all over the country and even all over the world. Of course, let me take that time to say, Egypt, as always, thank you for listening to us, and you as well, Spain. Thank you for listening to our podcast. And with Darius's permission, I am going to go ahead and just play a brief clip of his set, and for your enjoyment. But of course, I'm sure he's going to post it on his socials or probably YouTube, and you can check him out. And if you're in the Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Michigan area, etc., if you get a chance to catch Darius, definitely do it. It's totally worth it. So here we go. Little brief clip from his set.
It's all right. I love working in healthcare. It's always a very rewarding environment. We do events. We do one. It's called the Senior Health and Wellness Expo, or as I call it, can I convince you to stick around for one more year? And once again, these people are a little bit on the older side. They were born in the 1940s, sometimes even earlier than that. So they're always asking me questions like, Darius, do you think the world's going to get better? Darius, do you think the world's going to get worse? Or Darius, you're a little too close to that water fountain. Hard, right? The hardest ones to work are the ones with dementia because they don't remember their loved ones or their family members, but they still remember they don't like black people. It's like they keep that one backed up in the hard drive, right? Like he does remember Heidi's birthday, but he does remember the day Heidi brought home Jerome.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that brief clip of Darius Walker. So now we go on to our next interview, and this is with a local comedian. You can see him in the same thing, Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, Battle Creek area, all over, kind of what we call Southwest or Midwest Michigan. Depends on your location, I guess. and also host of Valhalla, Meet Me at Valhalla, the comedy open mic there. And they also have shows there. And this is an interview with comedian Chris Karpinski.
Well, it's actually from my CPAP.
Oh, I've got that too. I have that as well. All right. Well, we are back, and we are so no change in scenery. It's still us. It's still not live. It's a podcast. So
Well, it's live to us.
it's live to us, but And with us today is Chris. How do you say your last name? Karpinski.
Karpinski.
Karpinski. I got it right. All right. Chris, all right. Are you ready for some not so cringy questions from the Slaptail Squad?
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right,
Even
we're
if they're cringy, I'm okay.
Oh.
Well, go ahead, Ron.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
well, yeah.
No, just kidding.
And
Wait.
Ron,
Just kidding.
don't forget, this is the microphone that you will be talking into.
Yes.
You have your own. Please feel free to talk into it.
Yes. Thank
All
you.
right. Okay. If this was, are you familiar with the movie Saw?
Not very familiar. I'm
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay. What's a good one then?
I mean, you can use Saw.
can
We
use-
just
Well, what
you know
about,
the
like,
premise,
Texas
right?
Chainsaw
Like
Massacre?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw-
Yes,
any
Texas
of those.
Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If our car broke down and we were all in a group and we had to go to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house to get directions and the door shut behind us and we couldn't get out, which of the comedians that are here right now would you sacrifice first to save your own life?
The only one that's here is Darius. In this room with us. There are other comics out there, and I don't know who they all are yet, who have arrived.
You haven't decided yet.
I
Like,
haven't
let me go-
decided who
let
I'd
me go
You know
take a
what?
look.
I would
Let me go take a look.
sacrifice myself.
Oh, that's very
Sacrifice
noble.
myself. Because you know what? I'm older than all of them, and I've lived more
Darius,
life.
Darius sacrificed you also.
Run, Darius, run! Run, Darius!
He gave me up. Yeah, he said, you haven't
like-
got much time to live.
He's
That
lived
would-
a good
I would give
life.
myself up
He's lived
because
a-
Oh, you're
I'm the
much-
oldest, and they've got more life ahead of them.
Wow, that's really nice. Ronz and I wouldn't do that.
No.
I guess we're all on the same vote. We're all sacrificing you. Then.
That's right.
So
Oh my gosh!
you're
All
making
right.
it easy for
Well,
us.
I think I'm the
Ron's
oldest
is
one,
next.
Ron.
I'm, I think 58.
Oh, yeah, I'm
58,
the
yeah.
oldest then.
Oh,
So
And you look pretty young for your age.
It runs in my family. Last week I was at a family reunion, met one of my dad's cousins. He was 75 and he looked 50.
Wow.
So
good genes.
Youth.
There you go. Youthful genes. Yeah.
youthful genes.
I'm 22. This is hard living.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I did see a mugshot today of a guy that was 42, and he looked older than Ron's. Just saying.
Why were you looking at a mugshot?
It popped up on like my Facebook. They were looking for him, and I was like, 42, really? Like he was an escaped hit and run person, and
I see it all the time, and I'm not going to kind of say what my profession is, but I see people all the time that are young in like their 30s, and I'm like, I have to do a double take. I'm like, let me see their driver's license because I can't believe that person is that young and they look that rough.
right.
Meth,
Hard life. Hard
hard
life.
life, meth, a lot of
Meth
alcohol.
does a body wicked.
All right. Which question do you want to go with, Swan? You want to go with that one?
Sure.
All right, Chris. If Jerry Seinfeld was on fire, would you pee on him?
no, I would
Ooh.
not pee on him. I'm shy. I can't just whip it out and pee in public. It would be
So
hard for
you
me.
would try and actually save his life, but that's the extent of, well, you're on fire, you're going to die.
I would probably just walk on by.
Jeez.
I would not pee on him.
So would you walk on by just because you're scared to whip it out and pee on him, or because it's Jerry Seinfeld?
You said Springer, didn't you?
No, he said
Seinfeld.
You said
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld. I can't hear very well. If it were Jerry Seinfeld, still, I wouldn't whip it out and pee on anybody. I might try to put out the fire, but not peeing on him.
Okay, if you had nothing to put out a fire with, like you're dressed like you are
Okay,
right now.
Jerry Burns.
All right, there we go. Jerry
yeah.
Burns. Ronz, how about you?
I would try and pee on him.
Swan?
He's that kind of guy.
Yes, I am.
Him. Well, I can pee anytime. I mean, literally, if you just said go ahead, go pee, I could do it. But I would not pee on Jerry Seinfeld.
Not only would Ronz pee on him, but he'd get him naked first before he did it.
Well, honestly, if I got him naked, the fire's going to go out. So, I mean, there's no point.
I mean, his skin could be melting off.
He's like,
Well,
thanks for putting me out, but why is my penis in your mouth, Ronz?
whoa, Beaveman, let's not go there. Really? I don't want to take your competition.
Oh,
Anyway.
my goodness. Oh, here's a good one, Chris. Do you think that there's a perception that comedy isn't relatable between different generations?
No. No, it's very relatable. I do well with young crowds because they look at me and go, wow, Grandpa's telling jokes. He just said the F word or whatever it is. Young people, yeah, there's a connection.
Absolutely. All right. Oh, you're absolutely
You can be
fine.
part of it.
You're
You can
absolutely
be part of
fine.
it.
Oh, all
Podcast.
kinds of stuff.
Comedy.
All kinds of
We're talking about
Yeah,
comedy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So, is there a comedian now or in the past that you think had material that appealed to most age groups?
I think George Carlin went all age groups, young, old, in between, because there are young people now that know George Carlin.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely,
And,
yeah.
you know, so it's kept him relevant. So, yeah, George Carlin's the one.
Speaking of George Carlin, have you ever watched any of his earlier stuff before you actually did his B-side stuff, as he calls it?
I have seen. I mean, I saw the stuff when he was performing Clean Cut.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the
I've
stuff.
seen that, yeah.
So, in comparison, do you think that stuff is still relatable today?
I don't know about the early stuff, but once he established himself, I think it's relatable.
Oh, definitely. Really good stuff.
Did you want to ask about any other ask a question about Sam Kinison? Go ahead.
Okay, so
I could not stand his screaming. I found some of his material funny, but his presentation just like grated on me.
is that like Lewis Black's presentation as well?
Lewis Black isn't as cringy and loud. I've seen Lewis Black in person, and he's not as bad as Sam Kinison.
So, do you think as comedy or comedians go, do you think there's more of a political lean into it sometimes?
I don't know. I try to avoid that completely because when your audience is out there, you don't know what they believe or how they feel. You want to just be entertaining. You want to make sure they laugh. So I don't go. I mean, I'm not good enough to go political. There are some people that have been experienced and may do that. I don't want to do that because I don't want to alienate the audience.
I
Because
like
I'm
you
not that
better
good.
already, Chris. I'm just saying. I don't like political comedy either.
I do think though. I had this. I can't remember which podcast. It was the podcast with like Jason Bateman and Will Arnett and that podcast that they do, and they had Jerry Seinfeld on there, and they asked him a question sort of about politics, and he basically said, "Our opinion." We really said our opinion doesn't matter. We don't sway people one way or the other. And one of the other cast members was like, "I don't think that's true because you're still a human who has an opinion." And what you say does matter, and maybe people want to hear it. But they just shot him down like his opinion didn't matter, and he didn't stick to his guns, which I don't think that's very accurate because, you know, people always say entertainers shouldn't have opinions on politics. I'm like, why
No,
not?
They can have
They-
opinions. I just don't think it should be brought into the entertainment unless they're good, unless that's what
Yeah.
they do and they're very good at it. But most starting out comics are not good enough at it yet. And they have to be very careful because, once again, you're there to entertain, not to upset.
So, on that note, how long do you think it would take you to get to that level of entertainment then?
And that's a 20-year process, and I don't think I've got that long.
Not
according-
especially
yeah, according
if
to
Darius
Darius,
and
that's
I
his
have anything to say.
Yep.
I tried to make it out of this place alive already. Oh, okay. Let me see. Oh, here we go. One more question.
I'll let Ron ask his question then after
Ron,
that.
do you
No,
wanna
no,
ask?
The one that's told not to ask him, you can ask me
Oh, yeah, go
about the
ahead.
hecklers.
Oh, what?
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
We just
Well,
fuck with him because he asks every comedian
Yeah,
or
I ask a
anybody we
certain
talk
base
to.
questions, and they're like, "Okay, we got to move it on." And every time I try to move it on,
Okay. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
so hard on you.
yeah. Anyway,
we're
so
mean
how
to
do you
him.
deal with hecklers in the crowd? I mean, that's a common thing.
Most of the time, I don't find there are too many hecklers. A lot of times I think it's because I'm old and nobody wants to heckle their dad or their grandpa. But I have had one heckler, and it was my wife.
Nice.
She had a car. Somebody ran into her car and destroyed it. It was towed away. I had to pick her up, bring her to the comedy show. She was sitting out there, and I was telling a joke, and all of a sudden, she's like, it was about New Year's Rockin' Eve. And when I mentioned that, she was, nobody watches that shit anymore.
You're like,
Thank
"But I
you,
do."
everybody. That's my wife over there. And she got a huge round of applause and got an applause break that I was wishing for.
Wow.
So she stole your thunder, huh?
She is my only heckler. I
And
have
you
people
married her
talk-
too.
Well, this
Well, he
was
was
well
already
after I
married.
married her.
Ron. Try to keep up.
Stay with us, Ron. Stay
I'm
with
trying
us.
to, it's old age-itis.
Swan, do you have a question that you wanted to ask?
I mean, do you want me to ask one of those?
Well, I think we've asked most of these.
That's okay. We
so
haven't asked him,
we-
Chris.
Why they're arguing what question to ask. So when you get a lull in the audience, what do you do with that?
Sometimes
Tell a
I just
joke?
let it be. You either start my next joke or give it a pause, because in real life, things pause. And you just go, okay, I hope I remember what my next joke is, and then just move on.
Okay. If you had to do a show for an adult nursing facility, what would be your go-to joke?
I actually did an improv show at a nursing facility one time.
Oh,
and-
fantastic.
Oh, it was great because we asked for suggestions, how at an improv show, okay, we need a place. And it was silent. And finally, one of the nurses says, Paw Paw. So we did something on that. Halfway through our little skit, our improv piece, somebody just yells out, Vietnam! To Vietnam! It's like, okay, this is what it's all about to be at an old age home. I have a bit that I'm going to do tonight about going gray, and I probably would do that for
Nice.
them at the old age home.
Oh, well,
Cool.
we are
We look
looking
forward
forward
to
to
it,
that
yeah.
one. All right. Well, I think that's probably it. Thanks for being, thanks for, doing this quote interview with us. Thanks for,
Humoring
listening
Ronz.
to Ronz's cringy questions.
Although they weren't as cringy as they could be, I will work on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that the Swan and I are pretty awesome. We're sorry
Right.
you were exposed to Ronz.
So you notice they're building their ego up so
Go
you
home,
can crash
take a
it
shower,
later.
We
get
checked him
clean.
out of the facility for this.
Yeah.
That's why we were asking that question, so he can go back with some material.
Definitely.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Great to be here.
Okay, well, that was comedian Chris Karpinski, and that was awesome. He had a really good, really good set. Very, very funny set. I do not have clips from that set, and I will tell you why. I will not film people. I won't video their sets without asking permission. And I did not get a chance to ask Chris if I could film his set. So I don't have any jokes from his set, but I'm sure that you can find them. I don't know if he videoed them, but you can catch him, like I said, all over this Midwest, Southwest Michigan area. And like I said, he does comedy at Valhalla Meadery. So meet me at Valhalla for comedy there in Kalamazoo, Michigan. So if you're around, check it out for showtimes. We'll post links to the different sites that the comedians that were at the show last night host. So everybody can kind of check that out. All right. So now that I've got that, we're about to do our next and last interview, quote interview. No, it's not our last one. What am I talking about? We got a couple more. And this is what we call a very short talk, what we call bidet talk, which I think would be a good podcast. Bidet talk. Here we go.
We'll get on.
We'll get on
You're
up here. You want to talk about? Y'all want to talk about bidets?
Here, I'll give you my mic.
You can talk about bidets all days.
Resident bidet
We
expert.
might have
Let
to
me
get,
just go
might have
right
to
off the
get,
bat. Let me say bidets that warm up the seat for you are not a good invention.
that warm up the seat for
They
you.
warm up the seat for you. You know why? Because it perfectly replicates the feeling of going to a public restroom like way too soon after the last guy.
I disagree. That's how I like it. I look
Really?
for that in a bidet. I do.
Okay.
As a
See
cold,
that.
I only have the cold water connection at my
Like
house.
another man's warmth on a seat.
Just the thought of it, not
That's
the
true.
actual thing.
I've been that lonely.
Yeah,
get
before
it.
I could hover over, like, when you would go to, like, the beach and everything, how they've got the outhouses.
Oh,
Yeah.
Before I was old enough and tall enough to hover over theirs, I would have to sit on those if I wanted to take a shit as a little kid. That's what a warm seat would remind me of.
yeah.
So
Because
it's
those were
nostalgic
always
for you.
hot. No, it's not nostalgia. It's terrible. It was a
It's the
bad
opposite of
nostalgia.
nostalgia. Oh, okay.
I mean, still
See,
nostalgia, I
that's when
guess.
you gotta
What's
wet
the
the
word for the
toilet
opposite of
paper and
nostalgia?
wipe it down
Old
before you
age.
sit.
Trauma? Oh,
Trauma.
Okay. Sorry, I needed a definition on
Trauma.
that.
Yeah.
This is the first comedy show I've been to where there's a bidet in the building. That's not mine. So this is amazing.
So you have a traveling bidet?
Absolutely, I do. I do.
Traveling.
Yep. It gets funny looks at airports and bathrooms and everywhere. But
Is it just a water bottle with a big...
I was gonna say, oh yeah.
It's like a thing where they squirt
it's
your
not
water from
just
like the
a
boxers
water
use.
bottle. It's a water bottle with a nozzle.
So it's basically it's a portable sits bath.
Or is that a douche?
Yeah, it's a douche.
think
It's
it
a
might-
giant
Yeah, it's a
douche.
douche.
I think
It's a
you're right.
giant douche. You're carrying a giant douche.
No, it's
Please explain it because it sounds just like a giant douche.
Yeah,
like
it
Ron
does.
said.
It does.
So the only
got
difference
scammed.
is it shoots like up your butt. So it's designed for
like more Amy
number
douche.
2.
Well, I
It's,
mean,
That is a poor aiming douche right there.
Let me tell you something you definitely get addicted to is squatty potties.
Oh, yeah.
Squatty
I
potties.
enjoy a squatty potty.
Yeah, okay, so the thing about squatty potties is you can't buy them yourself. You got to get them as a joke, like a joke gift.
Oh, no, I got mine.
You bought yours yourself?
Oh, yes, of
Oh, you're a
course.
psychopath.
Well, I got it for Christmas, but
Oh,
I
that's
still.
what I mean. That's what I mean, though. Somebody else has to give it to you and go, oh, that's so funny. You got a squatty potty, and then it's your most treasured possession.
You should just get him a portable bidet. Is what you should do.
It's a squeeze, but it's still a douche. You're carrying
I
a
don't
douche.
know what you
You're
mean by
walking around with a
portable
douche.
It's like a water bottle with a nozzle on the end of it.
What's
You
it
fill
got
it
to
up
do?
with
Pictures.
water.
We got to see some pictures.
My car. I feel
Whoa,
like
hey, don't I my damn
It's got a
Well,
pointy.
sports ones.
It's got a pointy thing at the end to shoot water up your butt.
It still seems like the thing the boxers use.
You gotta
Basically, it's a
pull up
Yeah.
the picture.
It's
Yeah, we
pretty.
gotta see
I
what
have
it
the real thing. I mean, it's.
You have it with you.
So,
I do.
I would
Okay,
like
but
to-
let me
I
ask
have
this
it in
question.
that backpack
So
right there.
if you're using it when you travel and you go on a plane, so you've just got to full on douche yourself before you get on the plane because you can't have that much fluid with you.
So you never know when it's going to strike. You know, I've never actually gone. I've never taken a dookie on a plane mid-flight before, but
Okay.
I am good. It is TSA friendly. You can pour the water out before.
You know, I
You don't
like-
carry the water around in it.
Gotcha.
You
That's-
fill it
that's
up
what I
when
was
you
wondering.
need it.
I'm
Yeah.
like, okay,
Keister
so
the water, the way you're pitching it, sounds like you can just up the funcher and then.
So you can go up to a bottle, one of those bottle fillers, you know,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
water bottles, and you just
Oh, no
you
one's saying you
put it
can't.
on
Yeah,
there
that's
and you
fair.
screw the top on.
So how do you warm it up then? You got to put it under your armpit for like an hour?
No, you just turn the warm water faucet. You go to the bathroom and you turn.
You got this down, man.
the sink faucet on.
Well, you know, the
Yeah.
one thing I love about doing this podcast is how everybody refers back to the word shit to dookie, and I'm like, okay, we're talking about bidets and douches, and we're an adult podcast, and then you get that five-year-old term dookie.
Are you making
Dookie's
fun
a
of
funny
the
one.
fact that I used the word dookie?
Definitely, you're catching.
You
on.
look like your name could be Dookie.
It could be. It's
His middle name. It's his middle name.
It's my middle name, actually.
All right,
Right,
well,
no.
yeah, it's
So-
not a douche, and I'm not going to let you try it because you called it that. So,
So there was so trying it was on the table for all of us. I
not for him.
No, not for me.
don't know
I'm
what I
still
should.
running.
Maybe. Don't get too excited
Cheers.
about it, though. It depends.
Oh,
you have
I'm
to be
looking
like
forward to it.
casual, like, oh, do you
No,
still
my
have it in
ass
your
is a
bag?
mess. It needs it.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
I've
It's a
never
mess.
let.
There's a
I
lot
did
going
get
on.
fun fact for my wedding. I got all of my groomsmen portable bidets.
Wow, that's
Wow.
Yep,
How
my
many-
wife thinks they got like beer mugs or something.
what's
be
this
his
on our
friend,
credit
don't
card
you?
charge?
You want to be his friend now, don't you?
They're on
you had to lean
Amazon.
over
You
just-
can't tell.
What are they running? Like
So you
20
cover up the
20
cost with that. It's like, what is it? It's
Yeah.
on Amazon, hon. You don't have to worry about it.
Exactly. Doesn't show up as portable bidet on the credit card statement, so I'm good.
What you know how like you're always being watched and you get ad recommendations. What ad recommendations did you get after that?
Probably like, do you want to turn yourself into the FBI? You
Sure.
weirdo. Why would you buy 5 portable bidet type
Yeah,
ads?
yeah.
I think they were targeted, but
What are you gonna do?
it's great. I can go to Taco Bell again, and
Government surveillance has gone too far.
I can go out to the movies after, and if
Can't
it
put
hits
anything in
me,
your ass without the president knowing about it.
it doesn't go in there. It just hits like the surface.
I'm still confused.
I think that you should actually pitch this to Camelback to have some sort of a dual apparatus.
Oh yeah, or
a
Stanley,
big
or
one
any of
tube
those
for any-
stupid giant tumbler drinks that the girls are carrying around.
Yeah.
If you could just put the nozzle on the end of those, game over.
The only thing is, you'd have to worry about how do you keep the water warm on that.
You just turn. It's,
I
you go
liked
to
your
any.
idea under that-
Most sinks in America have a warm. You just the left one is usually warm, so you don't have to warm it up.
Like a Yeti cup, it would stay warm.
Exactly.
I don't have a microphone.
It will be the first thermos portable bidet,
Right.
and that's what will differentiate it.
Yeah.
Okay, members of the Great Slaptail Nation, you cannot steal this idea. It's
Correct.
basically it's
I will
already.
find you, and I will use my portable bidet on you.
They might like that though.
Yeah.
This episode of Shark Tank.
You're right. I don't know anything about your
Shark
listening
Tank.
base. They might like
Guys,
Oh,
Shark
they
Tank.
will. They do.
Shark Tank, yeah.
I think you
That's
got
a
something.
win for me.
that flush tank. Yeah,
Just gonna play on it.
Of course, you know,
Yeah.
you're going to have to come with various sizes and colors. So,
of course. Of
I
course.
think
We
this is
need to
gonna-
appeal to everyone.
I think this is going to lead the way though to a new portable prank because if I see
Yeah.
this laying around, I'm doing my own version of an upper decker in it.
So the nice thing about it is you don't usually see it laying around because it has a discreet carrying case.
yeah.
You just think it's a water bottle or something.
Yeah, but then you run the risk of mixing them up.
The only no, it doesn't. Well, who carries a water bottle in a little pouch? Nobody. So the only people who know what it is if they recognize the brand name and they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's totally."
Is your pouch with you right now?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
The whole thing.
Well,
It's
the
in
other
the
thing
pouch.
is they're going to know the difference because one's going to smell like shit and the other one's going to smell
No, it's
normal.
clean.
Well,
You clearly
if you're
don't
not
even know
a
how a
dookie,
bidet
you
works.
wash it off after.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That clears it up for me.
Aren't braided. He's not shitting through braided ass hair where he's got this much shit just all over the place.
Speak for yourself.
Is there
I'm
like a
Lebanese.
secret club?
My diarrhea comes out as
Like
filtered
everybody
water.
who has these pouches, you should have like a
No,
secret
I would
bidet
say
club.
I'm more outspoken about it than the average person. But it's not a secret. You just have to be an oversharer.
Well, all right. Well, this has been Bidet Talk on the Slaptail Squad. Guys, did you say your names into the...
Do you need them?
Probably shouldn't.
You should.
Okay, well then
Joel
don't then.
Sankey.
Conor Keenan.
All right. Well, let's go do some comedy.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, hey, pleasure.
All right. All right. So that was, I think that this is a real future podcast. It was Bidet Talk with Conor Keenan and Joel Sankey. So, Joel Sankey, thanks for sharing your love affair with your little portable bidet with us. That was fun. And now I have got a little clip from Joel Sankey's set. So here we go.
I spent a lot of time with my Taita growing up. My Taita was my grandma from the Middle East. I remember one day we go to a gas station. There's a giant sign in the window that says Camels, $11.99 per pack. She freaks out. She goes, $11.99 for a whole pack of Camels? Giorgio, these prices are unbelievable. America is the land of opportunity. I was like, yeah, it is Taita.
All right. Joel Sankey, everybody. That was fun. Yeah, I'm assuming that he's going to put his entire setup somewhere, and you guys can check him out. And of course, I'll put everybody's information will be in our show notes, like typical. All right. Now we have a clip for you all from Conor Keenan's set. So here we go.
One thing I started doing is because all social media is an addiction, right? Ever since I heard the term social media addiction, I started pairing up social media sites with their real world narcotic counterparts. Like Twitter, I feel like Twitter affects people the same way weed does. People get on it, and anything that's on their minds, no matter how stupid, comes out exactly how they're thinking it. Every thought. Proclaiming their wisdom as if anybody needed it. There was a girl from my high school tweeted out, sparkle emoji, devil emoji. That's what the kids are doing. What you don't know can't hurt you. I replied, I was like, I don't know. You never really knew your father, right? I'm off Twitter now, I'm recovering.
All right. So let's move on to our last interview of the evening. And as you guessed it, the Ronz gets creepy or cringy. He's cringy. I wish you guys would have seen how Ronz was dressing. Also, it's his new thing. He's got a lot of flair going on. God, we should have taken pictures. I don't know if we got any pictures of him. If we do, we're gonna have to put them up. All right, here we go. Last interview of the evening as we close out the show. Okay, because Ronz is making us do this.
I am not making us.
It's the Ron Show.
It's the Ron Show, everybody. Everyone, it's the Ron Show.
Hey, and welcome back, Beaveman and the Swan, and our guest who is
Katie.
Hi,
You don't even
Katie.
know her name. It's your show. Shouldn't you know your
Yeah.
guest name?
Yeah.
Well, someone did give me my notes.
So now we're here
Now
for
we
you.
we take notes for
Basically, we just
him.
take notes for Ron.
That's how it
We're
is.
his bitch.
Okay.
It's his show.
No, it's never
It's
been my show.
his
It's been the
show.
Beaveman show.
It's his show.
No.
Then since it's your show, Ronz, what questions do you have for Katie?
Well, Katie, tell us about the venue that just happened right now. This is the outro.
The venue just happened.
Okay.
The
sounds
venue
English is hard, Ron.
just happened. Tell us about the venue.
The venue.
that just
The
happened.
venue.
good. Okay, so this happened kind of randomly, if I'm being honest with you guys.
No, lie to us.
Okay. So I met Gina, who owns the event space here at Bright House. Yeah.
Oh. Didn't she
And,
work on the docks? Because Tommy had a job? Okay, Bon Jovi song.
And I got to talking to Gina about,
Gina!
something completely unrelated to any of this. We're both interested in holistic medicine and natural herbal remedies. And she
That
told
means they shove things up their butt.
yeah.
Is it like ganja?
Oh, and they smoke the weed.
They rub essential oils on their body parts.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when you go to your spice cabinet, do you think you can use it for cooking or holistic healing?
Both.
They probably smudged this place before we ever came.
They're definitely smudging it
They're
soon.
smudging.
We're smudging it after you leave,
Oh,
for
well,
sure.
there you go.
And you can clean up the smudges with the bidet that's in the bathroom.
That's a different kind of
bidet
smudge.
is fancy.
That's a smudge on the backside.
I have a question for Ronz.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you enjoy the bidet?
I have not used it. I wanted to wait until everybody's gone, so I didn't look.
He likes a used bidet. He likes to be the last.
Sloppy seconds.
Sloppy seconds
You know,
on the
hey.
bidet.
He likes
A
to
bidet is
culture.
bidet.
He likes to take a culture with his tongue.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, man.
Anywho, you podcasters, back to what I was saying.
I will use the bidet later.
So we met Gina, and she told us about the space, Bright House Studio, and how her and her husband Steve own it.
Yeah, put your mouth right on that.
Oh, God. And Steve struggles with Parkinson's, and so because she takes care of him full time, it's been a struggle for them to book events here and get the place kind of up and running. I told her, I'm happy to kind of stick my neck out there and plan this event for you and see what we can do. So I made the Facebook event, got Slaptail involved, and the comedians just started coming in. I mean, they were all hitting me up saying, we want to be on the show. How do we get in the show? And it was overwhelming before I knew it. I had 9 comedians who wanted to do sets for the show. And it had just planned to be an open mic. We turned it into a comedy show, and I was just overwhelmed with the response. It turned out really good. So that's kind of the story of how this happened.
The snacks were great, too. When you said they were free, everybody just got out of their seats and laughed.
That's true. That's
Yeah, my suggestion for snacks next time would be 1, don't have them. 2,
Don't have them?
2,
Nothing crunchy.
don't have loud crunchy snacks. Because
Pudding.
I kind of thought
only.
They were
I kind of thought that my number 2 would realize that you shouldn't get crunchy snacks and start crunching away at them in the comedy show. But what did he do? He did exactly that, and I was this close to turning around and saying, "Shut the fuck up!"
I mean, it would have been.
I didn't think
Usual.
about it.
That's right.
I did.
That's the
It's like I
point.
saw
He's like a toddler.
yeah, well,
But
you
not-
put
not
snacks
in a
in
good
front of me,
way.
what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Not in a good way.
Ronz was talking to me about Taekwondo earlier.
No, martial arts.
Martial
Karate. Not Taekwondo, I never mentioned it.
Plays
Well,
with
now
his
I
own-
mentioned it, but
plays
no, I
with his
didn't
own
mention it.
poop. There's all kinds of
But
stuff.
you have an interesting background, too. You spoke Japanese 1 through 8 in
Yeah.
school.
Well, I felt a little embarrassed because I have a tattoo in Japanese, and Ronz was asking me about it.
It says soap.
And I told him, I was learning Japanese in school, but it was elementary school, and I don't know basically anything anymore. And he was quizzing me extensively on Japanese.
He's like, what's the word for toe?
He said,
'Cause
"How do
that's
I
all
ask
he
for a
knows.
glass of water?"
Yeah.
And I
What's
said,
a
"I don't
neck?
know."
He doesn't either.
No, I don't. I don't. Actually, I thought it said hand goes here, and I'm like, okay, that's a boyfriend reference there, but that was great.
Yep.
Immediately goes to cringy
There we go.
comments with
There
Ron.
we go. Cringy moments with me.
Cringy moments with Ron. So you thought that the show went really well. What's your plans in the future then? What's the venue's plans?
I don't know. I mean, we'd love to do it again. We'd love to do the exact same thing again now that we've kind of figured out what works and what doesn't work.
With less crunchy snacks?
Yes, exactly. More pudding.
Puree.
More pudding.
Puree.
More pudding and more people using the bidet. The more the better.
I tried to go to the bathroom so many times tonight. Every time I went, the handle was locked. I was like, I really, really got to go. So I'm really, really going to go before we leave.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I don't know if you know this, but the comedians that you had here tonight, with the exception of me, are pretty experienced comedians.
They were great.
Yeah. So you did get, you got one heck of a lineup.
It was funny because I really didn't know any of them at all. I mean, I'm not in the comedy scene. I don't know any local comedians, and I was blown away tonight because I had heard their material for the very first time, and I was laughing my ass off. It was so funny.
Yeah, it was a great show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was. I
It
liked
really was.
all
Except
the
for the
extra-
crunching from my number 2.
Yes, well, except that. So, also, thank you for actually reaching out to us, the Slaptail
Yeah.
Squad. That was awesome. So,
It wouldn't have happened without you guys, for real. Anything you say, your wish is my command. We love Slaptail. For real.
thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe get a little product endorsement with maybe a tattoo of Slaptail Squad.
Ronz is asking for a handy.
Well, we are sponsored by Swiss Lube or Swiss.
Jesus,
Navy
you're
Lube.
so
Yeah, I
creepy.
know. Yeah.
He's so creepy. Your wife is right there. He's like, well, we do have some lube.
Well, I don't have
We
to
do
deal
have
with
some
them for
personal
5
arousal
seconds.
cream. We do have some personal
Get
arousal
it?
cream.
5 seconds?
5 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, we get it.
There we go.
We
There we
did
go.
it.
There we
So
go.
that's nice. So we had some really good comedians tonight. As I
Definitely.
was telling the Swan, we don't film anybody unless they ask us to. We did film a couple people. That's filming's different from recording. So you don't film people unless they expressly tell you it's okay to film them. So we
Ronz
filmed a couple
does.
people.
Yeah,
does.
I wish I
It's
would have
okay,
known
though.
that before that court date.
We filmed a couple people, so we've already airdropped one to Darius, who did
Nice.
his set tonight, and I've got a couple other ones, so I'll get with them. I think one of them wanted me to put it up on YouTube, so we'll tag you guys on that one.
Awesome.
And this will be a bonus episode for the Slaptail Squad, because our season is coming up. Probably have one more bonus episode before our season 5.
5.
I look
Season
forward to
5
that.
restarts. Yep. Coming up in probably the end of September, Ronz.
Oh, September. Wow, great.
Yeah, you already had a 2-month break.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. A lot of shit's been happening, but I look forward to
Nobody
coming
cares.
Keep
back
it
and do it.
secret.
Yeah, because he
it's
doesn't
top
want us to know
secret.
because he's not that close to his audience. And shout out to
really?
our biggest fans in Egypt. Once again, consistently, we are in the top 100 podcasts for improv in Egypt. I don't
Really?
know why.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
We're always generally in the top 300 in Spain also, but Egypt loves us. I don't know why. Ask us to come there. If you pay us to go.
We'll go,
Ron-
yeah.
Well, Ron's might go. He might not ask for time off work because he's so fucking important.
I am.
But Egypt, we really want to go there.
I would go. I mean, we'd have to learn how to speak Egyptian.
Why?
Just to say hello and goodbye. You know,
Why?
common courtesy. It's like,
I think you just want to go so someone will part your ass like the Red Sea.
well, we do have lube.
Do you have lube? All
Might
right.
as well go that route.
All right. Well, then, anything to plug there, Katie? You got anything to plug?
Just
No, nothing?
Ronz's butt. That's
Just
it.
Ronz's. Oh, because they've got
You're starting
Swiss
on me
Navy
already.
lube. 'Cause they got Swiss Navy
Wow.
lube.
Wow, Katie.
All right, then. Well, that's it for me, the Beaveman. Adios, mooch fuckos.
Bye from the Swan.
And from the Ronz, stay sane, motherfuckers. It's a crazy world out there.
Yeah, I don't have that sound bite, but he doesn't know how the vajayjay works.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I don't know how the vajayjay works.